Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me on my channel. So you probably clicked on this video because you got interested in the title and you want to know more about what is energy, what is it to work with energy, and if you've never done it and you don't know what it is, I have a couple of tips of where to start from. So my name is Yana and I read energy, I read people, which is energy, I read tarot cards, and I create different tools that help us in our manifestation, in our creating our reality. Today I'm just going to give you a little snippet of how to use energy, how to manipulate energy to create the life that you desire. I hope all will do well. So before we dive into specifics and become very detailed about the human energy and how do you channel the universal energy and how do you direct the energy and how you manipulate the energy, I think it's very important to start big and have an idea of what exactly we're dealing with. So my first explanation would be, everybody who doesn't understand how can we use energy and what exactly is energy, I'll give you a very simple example. Have you ever entered a room where you felt like the energy was not good, for example, or the energy was really good? Or have you ever sensed somebody's presence behind you, even though you couldn't see them, you could tell there was somebody standing behind you? So this is sensing energy, and I think before we try to manipulate energy and use it for healing, use it for reading, for being able to understand the meaning of a different vibration, receive psychic messages, or all sorts of energy interpretation, I think it's very important to be able to actually sense the energy, make the difference between the different frequencies. So everything that exists has an energy field, has an energy. The plants, the walls, the trees, humans, celestial bodies, the planets, animals, everything has an energy, and they all carry different frequency of energy. Right, if you're someone who's never experienced this, I understand that as humans, sometimes it's not that easy to remember things that we haven't experienced, especially when it comes to things that are non-tangible, like experiencing energy, sensing energy. So the first tip that I have for you to start practicing experiencing the different types of energy is through meditation. Once you have a solid practice of meditation, we're going to start practicing experiencing the 5 elements. There are 5 basic elements that we always work with, and those are earth, fire, water, air, and spirits. And because you've definitely experienced it, you just never really paid attention. So how do you do this through meditation? Is once you're able to silence the mind during your meditation, start calling on to the energy of earth, for example, and meditate on that frequency of earth. Start sensing the sensations in the body, the temperature change. Does it feel dense? Does it feel light? Does it feel cold or warm? Does it feel dry or wet? You know, there are so many things you can explore about this. And once you've made yourself familiar with what that feels like, clear the screen and then call on to the next energy, air, fire, or water. So once you've gained the practice of experiencing the frequencies of those 4 elements, begin with the earth, fire, water, and air. Once you made yourself familiar with the difference, how they feel differently, their different qualities, it will be so much easier for you to sense the energies around yourself later on. And then it's going to be much more easier to differentiate those energies from the energies of spirit, which is soul. Before all this, I would like to say, why do we want to use energy? Why do we want to work with energy? It's not some big juju. The people working with energy are very closely related with nature. I mean, we're all part of nature, right? But the people working with energy are able to have this understanding of continuity of everything, interconnectedness of everything. I mean, we already have the earth, we have the air, the fire, and the water, and all those elements are directly linked together. Where the water finishes, the earth begins. Where the earth finishes, the air begins. There is no separation between those. They do have different frequency, however, everything is interconnected. So once you're able to really grasp the idea of how everything is one and there is no separation between us and plants, between us and animals, you will understand much better how to work with energy. There is no space and time for energy. It travels through space and through time, and you may be here and you may be able to connect with somebody across the ocean, or you may be able to go into a situation for your future, or you may be able to attract something towards yourself that does not exist in your surroundings right now. So before we start even thinking of working with energy, the most important thing is to live ethically. And what does that mean? Coming from a compassionate place. Living with compassion and having compassion for everything means living from the heart, coming from the heart. And anything that comes from the heart eventually leads to healing. So even if you're encountering a negative situation in your life, or situation that's not pleasant, if you approach that situation or this person compassionately, you will be able to heal the person, you will be able to heal the situation, and ultimately heal yourself. So living ethically means causing no harm, no intentional harm to anything or anybody else, and approaching everybody and every situation with compassion. Because all eventuality leads to healing. This is the understanding of a person who is closely connected to nature, who understands the interconnectedness with everything and the sole purpose of everything that leads always to healing. So how can you start building this ethical kind of life for yourself before you start working with energy? Most important thing is have strong boundaries. Have strong boundaries for yourself. Being able to compassionately reinforce your own boundaries for your own good and for the good of everybody else is very, very important, because respecting your own boundaries means you're respecting others' boundaries. Imagine having the possibility to create anything in the world and you have no boundaries and you don't live ethically. In nature, we have a constant flow of energy. Whatever we send out is ultimately always received back towards us. So living ethically, having strong boundaries, very, very important. From then on, we can start building on our practice and understanding energy much, much better and much easier. So I hope this was helpful and interesting for you, and if you're more interested in just those energies in your life and to help others and help yourself, you can drop me your email, because soon I will be having a course coming up that is going to be very detailed, and we're going to practice together on how to experience energy, how to work with the energy. We're going to touch on healing, how to do healing, how to manifest, how to receive psychic messages, how to read any energetic information, and altogether how to develop your intuition better as well. So I hope to see you there. Drop me your email and we're going to stay in touch.